So the question is, what are the common types of domestic violence charges? And, there's different kinds, right? There's domestic violence without injury. There is domestic violence with injury. And domestic violence without injury, that's generally a misdemeanor only offense. Domestic violence with injury, though, can either be a felony or a misdemeanor. Okay. Now, other kinds of common domestic violence offenses are assault, for example, with a deadly weapon, or assault by force likely to produce great bodily injury. And I'm going to kind of break those down just a little bit. Assault with a deadly weapon. Generally, we're talking about an inherently dangerous weapon, right? Like a knife or a firearm. Of course, you could have assault with a weapon that's not inherently dangerous. For example, like a rolling pin to roll bread. Okay, it's not inherently dangerous. It's used, to cook. But if used in a weapon to like club somebody, then it could be lethal. Okay, so there's those issues. Is the assault that happened, was it really with a deadly weapon? And that's, questions that arise in some of these cases. Okay. Assault by force likely to produce great bodily injury. That generally means, that the defendant was hitting somebody or attacking them with such force that it was likely to produce great bodily injury. And this is irregardless of whether great bodily injury actually occurred. So we'll usually see these charges when, a defendant is, swinging, with great power, for example, with a closed fist at the alleged victim, or kicking them in like the ribs or stomach or something ugly, that you generally just, don't want to see or even think about. But that's, when you're going to get, an assault by force likely to produce great bodily injury. Other kinds of domestic violence charges that you'll usually see are vandalism, somebody's property gets broken, or you'll see tampering with a, for example, telephone device to prevent the alleged victim from calling 911. That in and of itself, is a misdemeanor. Witness dissuasion, another one, could either be a misdemeanor or a strike felony. So if a defendant's accused of telling the alleged victim, hey, you better not call the cops or I'll kill you, that defendant could be in even bigger trouble for the witness dissuasion than the actual domestic violence that had been committed, because that could be charged as a strike felony. Other types of domestic violence charges that, are common are annoying or harassing or obscene telephone calls. That's like, or other types of messages. It doesn't just have to be through telephone. It could be through any type of electronic media, social media, whatever. And that's where, one party's just either repeatedly, harassing the other person or, making obscene comments, to the other person. So those are the common types of domestic violence charges that I think you'll see. The other thing to be aware of is that domestic violence, right, is defined basically as between people who are married or cohabitating or in some type of dating relationship. But it could even be broader than that. It could include, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, grandparents, parents. A crime committed against any one of these people could be categorized as domestic violence, and just something to be aware of, because there's different penalties when you are facing a crime of domestic violence. If you want to talk about whether you have a crime of domestic violence and figure out, what you need to do and what it's looking like, feel free to give me a call. I'm Nafiz Ahmed, and I'm happy to talk to you.